Hello and welcome to another HRS training video. Today we're going to cover building a custom command set. To build a custom command set, you will need to get the information from the manufacturer so that you know what commands and protocol settings you need to set. So let's begin by clicking on the command set section. First you'll click on the green plus to create a new command set. Here we can enter the device name and then the manufacturer. And then you will be able to select your different default protocol settings. So today we're going to be using TCP for ours. However, you'll notice we have a large selection. You can select any one of them and the default information will change based off of what you may or may not need. So with ours, we'll enter our default IP address and the default port number for the device. And then if you need any headers or footers, you can enter those here as well. For our system today, we're going to be adding a footer, which is a carriage return and line feed. And you will also need to enter that as a hex value. And in our system, the escape character is a \x. And we'll enter our value and we'll do our line feed, which pulls those up. Once you have all your default settings entered the way you need, click on commands and you can create your first command. So let's make this a power on. And the command is simply PWR1. And the power off command and this command is PWR0. So those are your first two commands. So when we send those, it'll send PWR1 carriage return line feed and PWR0 carriage return line feed. Now, since these commands are very similar and just the 1 or the 0 is changed, you can actually condense these down into one single command. So let's eliminate the second one. Click edit here and we'll take off the 1 and we're going to take off the on. And we'll save this and then we're going to add an argument. So how the arguments work, if you click edit, you'll see there's 3 boxes here. So when you're sending a command, it's going to send the power version command first, which is PWR, and then it'll send the hidden header, the value, and then the hidden footer. And then if you have multiple arguments, you can add those as well and it'll just continue in order. So for this one, we're going to have this be on or off. And then who's ever creating the system can enter a 1 or 0 in the value section. Now, if you were doing this for, say, an input selection, which we do have that option, we can do a very similar setup. So we can add our argument and we'll do our input. And instead of having them have to enter the value, say there's multiple inputs and having to know those, we will create an option list for this one. So click on option list, click the green plus, create a new one. And this will be inputs. And we will add, for right now, 2, but you can add as many as you need to this setup. And so how this works is, the display is what the person programming will see in a drop-down menu, and the value is what actually gets sent. So for HDMI, we want to send a value of 1, and for DVI, we want to send a value of 2. So we'll go back to our command, and we'll pick input and edit the argument, and we'll click on our advanced setting, which there's multiple options in here for doing checksums, sending different values of bytes, things of that nature for whatever you may need for your system. And for this one, we're going to pick from the option list, and we're going to pick our inputs, and that'll be it. Click save, so that way everything's in there. And if we go to our device, we can click a new device, we can edit the name, and we'll pick from the custom section here for the command set, and you can enter the IP address and port number if they've changed from the default. And we'll go to our service, and if we add a button, I can show you the first one. So power, so it gives us a value section to enter a 1 or a 0, which this is definitely nice when you have this option, because you can also use a variable that may be set somewhere else in a system for other commands. And for the input, you'll notice we now have our drop down, and it just says HDMI or DVI. And when you send that command, it's going to send out the correct information for you. For the commands, you can add as many as you need. You can create as many arguments as you need as well too. And we will cover in another training video the variable and JavaScript section, which will allow us to create a query command in the command set, get that information back in the JavaScript, and then set a variable value. Thank you for watching today, and if you have any further questions, please email us at support@hrscontrol.com. Thank you.